Hey, good evening. Happy Tuesday. It is Tea Time Tuesday, and I am here with you tonight to share some things. I have my tea. I'm doing iced tea again. I don't know why. It's cold outside. I should be doing hot tea, but I've just been having these iced tea cravings lately. So you can enjoy your tea with me. Couple of things I wanted to, if you're joining, after the broadcast, leave a comment down in the comments and say hey. And if you, hey Crystal, what's shaking, sister? All right, so do you have your tea? I got my tea. I'm drinking me some tea. All right, so if you are local to sunny SoCal, even though it's wintertime here, specifically Long Beach, join me on the 25th from 7 to 9 p.m. for Tea with a Purpose. We're going to be gathering there. My friend Vanessa is going to be singing. It'll be a time of having some scones and some Kenya tea, and you get to drink out of some fancy teacups and hang out and connect and shop if you want. Yeah, lots of new stuff. Oh, and I am so excited. Went to the post office today hoping it was coming. I've got some new clutch purses coming and the new mini clutch. Like everybody I'm telling about, I brought 4 of them back from Kenya the last time I came, and they sold out. And everybody's like, I heard about these mini clutches. Where are these mini clutches? And I'm like, oh my gosh. So they've been mailed through the regular post office. Since it's a smaller package, we usually do through the regular post office instead of shipping through DHL. So they were shipped last week, and I hear this is my first time shipping through the post office. I ship the larger things through DHL. So I'm praying that it gets here before the 25th. I've got a dozen of each size coming, and I think that they're going to sell out. I already told my artisan there who makes the clutches that everybody's excited about these mini clutches, so I'm going to have to place a bigger order than I thought when I go back. By the way, I am heading to Kenya February 8th through the 24th, and I'm doing a GoFundMe. I'm going to put that up later. Appreciate any support you have there. All right, let's talk about, I am working on getting certified with the Fair Trade Federation as a fair trade business, and it's a very stringent process to go through. And I submitted my application, and they rejected it the first time, and I had 30 days to do an appeal, so I chose to do an appeal. And I sat down with a consultant, somebody who's knowledgeable in what I needed to do, because they said that I didn't have a handle on my costing. And some of the things I didn't share in the application, but one of the things they wanted to know was specifically down to everything that happens to, because the paper bead is what I used for the cost. And these are the long paper beads. So I've got a bunch of them here, but it's just for one. So we did a time study on how long it takes one woman to make one paper bead. Now, we usually have them get together in teams because they can do a whole lot more. So part of the time study included it takes them 15 minutes to walk to town to buy the magazines. And it's just like, here I've got the American Motorcyclist magazine. It's just a magazine like this. So they buy some magazines and then they come back and make them. And I am taking some with me to Kenya, and hopefully we'll have a whole pallet of magazines going on a pallet, on a container in the summertime. So working on that. So they go there, they come back, and then they have to prep. It takes about 10 minutes to prep, to set up. Some of them have a paper cutter, and some of them just cut with scissors. Some of them roll by hand. Some of them have a little tool to roll, and I've attempted to roll with a little tool. And when I go, I'm going to get more detailed footage on this so I can show people what it takes to make one of these. So they take a magazine like this, and I've already cut some strips. You can kind of... Crystal, great. You still have boxes of magazines. I will take those. I have a place to put those. We'll have to arrange to get those. Hey, if you're coming to Tea with a Purpose, I can put them in my car. So you can probably see the lines. I've drawn some lines. And then they cut them into strips like this. Now, I can't do this by hand. I've attempted to do this by hand, but they cut them into strips like this. So this is how this starts. This is what this starts as a strip of paper like this. And so they have actually, let's pull one up here. These are all attached. So they have to make different sizes. They have the long bead like that. They have the smaller bead like that. And some of them they paint, as you can see in this one, they've painted some. But so they have to make two different sizes, so they have to cut two different sizes. So I've just cut a strip of paper like this. And I know I can't. I've tried to do this with a tool. Some of them do this by hand. And it's not going to look anything like, trust me, it's not going to look anything like they do at all. And I know some people say that they've done this in Girl Scouts. So I'm just going to haphazardly, they laugh at me if roll this up. So, they roll it into a bead. I don't have any glue. Oh, that's not too bad, actually. That's how that turns out. So they roll it into a bead, and then they glue it. And if they have it on a thing that they rolled it, they pull it off, and you can see it. It's got a hole in it where they can string it, and then they just put it in a bowl or something. So they'll roll this size, a bunch of them, because they have to have alternating ones, and then they'll roll this size. And then, so it takes a woman, one woman, because we had to do a time study to find out how long it would take one woman to cut and roll the beads. And it takes about an hour for one woman to cut and roll all the beads. And if they paint too, they paint some of the beads as well. So they have them all separated. And so they cut and roll, like they strips. They cut them into strips. Now, when our teams get together, like there's a team of ladies that get together, and one will cut, and she actually has a cutting thing. Board, the whatever, I can't even think what the name of it is, where it comes down, it goes that kind of thing. Or if they have scissors, they have to cut that. But they do, as you can see, they'll mark it all out on the paper so they know where to cut. Or she was so good at it, she didn't need to put it on the paper because she wasn't cutting with scissors. She just put she actually had, sometimes they buy colored paper, like there was some white paper and they put it in there. And she just went, and she's just moving the paper. So she's just moving the paper like this and cutting it. And then the next lady was rolling. And then the next lady was stringing, and somebody was dipping in varnish, which I'll tell you all about that process. And then there was a fifth woman who was kind of filling in. She was either rolling some or stringing some. So they work together as a team. They can do a lot more. So it only takes her an hour to cut all the beads. And then you see in between here, these are they're called seed beads. They're just regular, like as in my beaded necklace here. This is another necklace made by them. So that's kind of the embellishment. And this is a fishing line. So she strings, then she has all the beads out in different bowls, and she picks them up and strings them. And it takes her 12 minutes to string them. It takes one woman only 12 minutes to string one of these. That's just incredible to me. Like, really? That's all it takes? 12 minutes? It would take me forever. And, she knows how many she needs. So you can see this is perfectly done. Here's the longer bead and then the shorter bead, and she's got like one of the longer, then two of the shorter, one of the longer, two of the shorter, and then some of the colors are alternated in, and they all look similar, but there's not any one of them that's the same. They're all different because it depends on what kind of magazines that they were able to get to use. You can kind of see this one here has some blue. This one here's got some yellow. Here's one with some red, and that's straight magazine that's just been rolled and glued. And then once they're strung, they're varnished so that they don't, they become hard, so they're water resistant, and that they don't come apart, because they glue them, but the varnish kind of helps seal them in a whole lot more. So basically it takes just under 2 hours roughly to make one paper bead necklace for one woman. Now they can make a whole lot more when they do it together as a group, which is better. But we had to do a study in order to determine how we figure our costs. So that's kind of what we did with that. And the same for, like, this is a paper bead bracelet. This put on a wire, and it's a wrap bracelet. So all these beads were rolled, but then they were painted. You can tell the ones that are that are paper and the ones that have been painted, because if they were straight paper, they wouldn't be as smooth. You would see more of the ridges to where the like. Let's see if I can show you one. Like you can kind of sort of see the ridges if you look close. Yeah, let me see if I can do it this way. It's kind of hard to see on the camera, where you can see how they rolled it. But when they paint it, those are kind of covered up. So these beads have all been painted, and they've been put on a wire, and it's turned into a wrap style bracelet. So they make bracelets, they make long paper beads, and these you double up. They're long. You double up to make a necklace out of. They make the shorter ones in mostly solid colors. Then there's a stretch bracelet, and then we're going to get some single strand bracelets soon. So when I go to Kenya, I'm going to get more video footage of them. I have a lot of pictures of them making the beads, and I have a couple pictures of them making baskets, but I'm going to get more detailed footage while I'm there of them making as many of the products as I can get, because I've seen how they make baskets. I've seen how they make paper beads. I think I've seen them string this necklace, but we have a lot of other necklaces that I haven't seen. Oh, and I've seen like the kind of the tribal choker necklace, how they make that. That's really interesting. But I don't have it on video, so I plan on getting that on video. So that's kind of how they make the paper beads. And actually, while I'm in Kenya, I'll do a Facebook Live and on here, and while we're there, so you guys can see it live, see them making the beads live from Kenya. I'll be there. I'm arriving in Kenya February 10th, and I'll be there for 2 weeks. So be doing a lot of Facebook Lives from there, so you all that are here can see what's going on over there, and actually get a first-hand view of them making the beads, making paper beads and other beads and baskets and everything else. We're expanding to some other products. I'm excited about some of the things that are coming. We're going to do some little head wrap type things, and some coasters, new beaded coasters, and other kind of custom baskets. So we keep expanding the product line. I don't know if you've seen the Shopify store. If you look here on the Facebook page, you can see it. It says shop. I don't have everything up there quite yet, but I have almost all the products. I just don't have all the colors of every product available, because I got some more in right before Christmas and was selling a lot of those. So there's some other things I need to get up there. What else? Oh, so on Swahili Sunday is another live that I'm doing, and I did it in the group last time. If you're not connected to the group, you can connect in there. But I think because of what I'm going to be doing that's where we announce a product of the week and give a special and maybe a gift. This past week's product of the week for this week was the t-shirts. And if you ordered on Sunday, even if you didn't watch it, but if you ordered by the end of the day Sunday, you got a free necklace of your choice. But so we'll have some type of a giveaway that goes with a purchase. I've got some cool keychains, and I have some other things that I'm going to give away. So you watch that for Swahili Sunday. But on Swahili Sunday, and we'll be doing it here on the page instead of on the group. So on Swahili Sunday, I'll teach a Swahili word. And I'm going to go over that word today for those of you who didn't see the Swahili Sunday video. So the word that I taught about asante sana, which is thank you very much. Asante is thanks. Asante sana is thank you very much in Swahili. But there's one word that all of you who are not in Kenya, I know there's a lot of people on the page in Kenya, but those of you who don't live in Kenya and don't know Swahili, you know a Swahili word. I'll need some tea. Gotta have some tea. Tea is good. Drink your tea. Anyway, you know a Swahili word. Trust me, you do. So, what is the Swahili word for lion? Anybody? Simba. Simba is the Swahili word for lion. When I found that out, I laughed my head off because anybody who has seen the movie The Lion King knows the main character's name is Simba. But Simba is the Swahili word for lion. So now you can go and share that with your friends and tell them, maybe you could even bet them, hey, I bet you know a word in Swahili. And they may say, no, I don't. And you'll say, yeah, you do. Have you seen The Lion King? Yeah. You know a word in Swahili. And then you can play with them a little bit, and then you can say, it's Simba. Yeah, right? Crystal, OMG, right? That's what I said when I learned that. I was like, what? Are you kidding? Yeah, I got a book. Somebody gave me a school book there that has like the words, and it had a picture of a lion, and it said Simba. And I was asking one of my friends, I'm like, are you kidding me? Is this the word in Swahili for lion, Simba? They're like, yeah. I just started laughing. So there you have it. That's your Swahili word for the week if you didn't hear it on Swahili Sunday. So we'll be teaching a different word every week on Sunday and having a product of the week special. So that's about it for tonight. Hopefully you're sipping your tea. I kind of had a little too much. And I shouldn't be drinking caffeine this late. But I love tea, especially Kenya tea. So back to if you're local and if you come to Tea with a Purpose on the 25th at Fairtrade Long Beach, 4105 Bellflower, then you can sample some Kenya tea. I have some Kericho Gold tea from Kenya, a couple of different flavors. There's other tea too, but who wants to have other tea when you can have Kenya tea? Kenya tea is wonderful. So I hope for those of you who are local to see you there. Another thing, if you're local and you want to have a home party, I call it a home tea party. Invite me over. You get some free stuff. You get some discounts. But if you're not local and you want to still do that, we can do that online. We can do a tea party online. I'll just have products here. I'll show it. You'll be able to buy online and invite all your friends. We'll have a private little tea party. We'll do it on Zoom. Everybody will be in. So keep that in mind. It's a fun way to connect and to shop. So that's an idea. So either do an in-person tea party where you have me come over, like it's like a home party kind of thing, or do one online. And we'll have a lot of fun. There's even some options where you can have everybody pay a small amount and they can get a teacup and some tea and, a t-shirt or whatever. So that's an option too. We can talk about that. So if you're interested in that, you can PM me here and leave a comment here on if you're coming back and you weren't on for the live, leave a comment and say what the Swahili word is for lion. So Simba. All right. Okay, everybody. So thanks so much for coming, and I will be connecting with you later in the week. Swahili out. I have to come up with a phrase in Swahili to say goodbye. All right. Have a good night, everybody.